During his time in the NBA, no one has been as dominant as LeBron James. No matter who else bursts onto the scene, whether it's a sharpshooter like Steph Curry or a young stud like Luka Doncic, LeBron always seemed to retain the crown as the league's top dog. Someone could be coming for that title, however: his son, Bronny James. While Bronny is only in high school, he's already making news with his basketball skills. Could he already be a better shooter than his dad? Will he live up to the hype? How do they compare at the age of where Bronny is now? While it's easy to say like father like son off as a cliche, Bronny James seems pretty intent on following in LeBron's footsteps. He might be young, but there's no doubt about his pedigree or potential. Despite only turning 15 years old in October, Bronny already has an impressive basketball resume. He's been winning tournaments, both with his school teams and in AAU competition. For years, he first garnered national attention with a highlight reel in 2014 and has only increased in stature since. He's also reportedly been receiving college scholarship offers since 2015, which LeBron apparently didn't appreciate. Bronny is currently hitting the hardwood for Sierra Canyon School, where he's teaming up with Zaire Wade, son of LeBron's former teammate Dwayne Wade, and two other five-star recruits. Based on that star power, the team appeared on ESPN throughout their season. Fun fact, Sierra Canyon was actually on ESPN more than 30% of the teams in the NBA. But Bronny doesn't need any help making headlines. He already boasts over 5 million Instagram followers and a pretty famous father. Not only that, but a hilarious Twitch audience.
Bronny thinks it's all fun and games until Zaya whips out a 12-incher.
Bronny James might be young, but his talent is already apparent. While he's more than capable of throwing down a massive dunk like his dad, one aspect of James's game is also catching the eye. Bronny is also capable of stepping out onto the perimeter and knocking down an outside jumper. While that makes sense, right now he's only listed as a lean 6 feet 2 inches tall and simply doesn't have the body to dominate the paint. It's still encouraging to see. In the modern NBA, even big men need to stretch the floor. If Bronny is already developing a shooting touch, that's one fewer adjustment he'll have to make as he develops. Paul Biancardi, ESPN's national recruiting director and NBA draft analyst, has already taken notice of Bronny's jump shot. In a recent tweet, he stated that the younger James is a better shooter than LeBron was during his time in high school. The senior James even chimed in, saying both Bronny and his third son, Bryce Maximus, are both deadly from the outside. Although he had the bright lights on him entering the team, he was joining a team that features McDonald's All-American talents like BJ Boston and Zaire Williams. James didn't necessarily have a flashy season by any means, but has shown that he may already be better than his father in one regard at that age. Bronny James had his moments in his freshman year at Sierra Canyon that had pushed the way toward him being ranked 24th by ESPN in the 2023 class. James has continued to grow physically to 6'2", while he has shown continued improvement in other aspects of his game. According to Paul Biancardi of ESPN, Bronny may have already surpassed LeBron James as being a better shooter at age 15. It should also be noted that when it comes to shooting the ball from the outside, Bronny's jumper is ahead of where his dad's was. Neither shot could be described as pure, but Bronny has slightly better range and accuracy than LeBron did at this stage. James has demonstrated the ability to be a more consistent factor with his outside shooting than his dad. LeBron James has never held the reputation as being a shooter, but he was more aggressive in high school toward getting to the rim, while Bronny has relied more on his shooting touch. It isn't to state that he's a pure shooter, but is more adapted to that part of his game at a younger age than his dad. That is certainly high praise directed at Bronny James, but it's yet another comparison to LeBron James. Based on what we've seen so far, Bronny James looks to have a quality basketball career. Outdoing LeBron, however, is a different matter. While we might take the senior James for granted, he's one of the greatest players of all time. There's no shame in failing to live up to his standard. Bronny's shooting touch, however, does bode well for his future prospects. If there were any flaws for LeBron during his early career, it was his mediocre outside shooting. If his son has already honed his knockdown three, defenders will have to respect that all the way through the high school, college, and professional ranks. His first year with the school saw him play a limited role in much of a six-man spot, as he averaged 4.1 points in 15 minutes per game, but was the only player to play in all 34 games. James had his moments throughout the year, with several flashy dunks and crucial shots late in games. The 15-year-old will never truly escape those conversations, as he has picked up the same sport as his dad, who is held as being one of the greatest players in NBA history. That is a discussion that he has likely quickly learned that he has to live with, and it also possibly provides him more motivation to push himself into his craft. Bronny has a bright future ahead of him, while his younger brother Bryce James looks to be following a similar path with his basketball career. Only time will tell how things will pan out. When you're comparing high school careers, Bronny is a better shooter than LeBron. A better player though? Yeah, not so much. At least not yet. Bronny does have a chance to prove us wrong though, as he's only a freshman entering his sophomore year. Do you think Bronny will live up to the hype? Is he already a better shooter than his dad? Let us know in the comments down below. But the real question is, will we all get to see a father-son matchup or duo for the first time in NBA history? But that's a topic for another video. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and as always, thanks for tuning in.